Now on Denver 7 News, the Broncos bust against the Las Vegas Raiders.
It's on all of us. I think, we're a team. What a gift. We got a lot of season left. We can respond the right way.
Our Denver 7 sports team is breaking down the loss as the Broncos prepare to play again in just 4 more days.
We got to get better, and I think that across the board, as an offense, I think we will.
Plus, a quiet college neighborhood rocked by gunshots in the street.
Oh my God! Shots fired by the sink, and I was like, oh my God, that's literally a minute walk from my apartment.
Now students are sharing their concerns, saying this isn't the Boulder they're used to.
The generosity of the Colorado people is second to none.
And Coloradans are sending some much needed help. How a local group is helping Hurricane Ian victims from thousands of miles away.
Thanks so much for joining us for Denver 7 News at 10. I'm Jacqueline Allen.
And I'm Brian Wang. A very tough loss for the Broncos tonight on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Let's get right over to Sports Director Lionel Bienvenu to break down exactly what went wrong, Lionel.
Well, they just can't put it all together yet, Jacqueline will buy in. I think they will, but 4 games into the season, we've seen flashes of brilliance and a lot of absolutely awful. So here we sit at 2-2 after today's loss to the Raiders. We say every week there's good, bad, and ugly. The good, Russell Wilson, his best game as a Bronco. 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions, rating of 124.9. Also ran for a touchdown, and the Broncos scored over 20 points for the first time this season. The bad, Melvin Gordon, fumbled for the 5th game in a row. It was returned for a touchdown. The ugly, top 3 Broncos defense got bulldozed by the Raiders for 212 yards rushing and 2 scores. 32-23 the final, but Russell said after, things are still coming together. He's looking forward to the short week and Thursday night's game against the Colts.
We got a lot of season left, man. What a gift. We got a lot of season left. We can respond the right way. And that's what we're going to do. There is no other way. There's no other option. That's what we're going to do, and I look forward to it. I look forward to how these guys show up tonight on the plane, studying the film, and then how we get there back to Denver, back home, and get ready to go on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it's just the beginning. It's just the start of everything. So we'll be ready to roll.
So what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Same deal with the Broncos. Leave this one in Vegas, move on to the next one. Broncos insider Troy Rank was in Vegas, and here's Troy's take on the game today.
Yeah, Lionel, Las Vegas is where you wake up to sobering truths, like maybe you're married or you've lost all your money. The Broncos lost another road game against the Raiders. That's 7 straight. Melvin Gordon has now fumbled in 5 straight games dating back to last season. The reality is Russell Wilson has to play better than ever. This is why they paid him the big money. Defensively, you got to stop the run. It's that simple. Josh Jacobs had his way with the Broncos. Mike Purcell told me it was embarrassing. While the offense opened the second half with 4 straight punts, they did show life in the pass game. Deep strikes to KJ Handler, Kendall Hinton. They're going to need that moving forward against the Colts on Thursday night because the run game, we're not sure what we're going to get moving forward. Reporting from Allegiant Stadium, Troy Rank, Denver 7.
All right, here we go. It's on Thursday night primetime football on Denver 7. Broncos Colts pregame coverage starts at 5. Yep, then the game at 6 and postgame after. Denver 7 is your home for Broncos primetime Thursday night football. And we'll be back later in sports at 10:35. Much more coverage from Troy, and Nick Rothschild will join us as well. So we'll see you then.
All right, thank you, Lionel. And Denver 7's infamous Broncos hotline was very, very popular tonight.
Well, as you can imagine, Broncos fans were not very happy about this game.
They're doing absolutely nothing. The defense is fine. It's their offense, man. They haven't had more penalties. They move the ball backwards half the time. I'm watching the stupid Raiders game.
I'm a diehard Bronco fan, and the Broncos disgust me today. They let a 0-3 team beat us, and somebody need to go. Somebody need to get fired.
Whoa, you could just hear all the agony there. If you want to sound off too before, during, and after the Broncos games, just call our hotline at 303-832-0111. All right, Aurora Police shot a suspect inside an Rtd bus earlier tonight near Colfax and Moline. We have very limited information on this right now. APD tweeted about the shooting shortly before 7 p.m. It's unclear what led up to the shooting, but officers say no one else was injured. The suspect was rushed to the hospital, and their condition is unknown at this time.
And we are learning more about a shooting overnight in Boulder's University Hill neighborhood. This happened in the area of 13th and College Avenue, where you can see a man actually pulls out a gun here and fires at least 2 shots. Police officers were nearby. They fired at one of the suspects. That suspect was hit in the arm and is expected to be okay.
Tonight we're hearing from students who live on the Hill. They tell Denver 7's Colette Bordelon this isn't the Boulder they know.
University Hill in Boulder, where college kids congregate.
Long weekend of partying, and this place can get kind of dumb.
And where trash is normally one of the biggest problems.
It's pretty disgusting, actually. I wouldn't be doing it without gloves on. There's a lot of cigarette butts everywhere.
So this is how Nick Singhal and his fraternity brothers spent Sunday afternoon.
Let's clean up the freaking hill. It must be done, yeah.
Combing the same sidewalks. Where this video from early Sunday morning was taken, right outside the Sink restaurant.
I saw the video last night, yeah. That's too close to home.
It showed a side of Boulder students don't recognize, and we spoke with a sophomore who says he took the video while walking home.
Scary, I'm fearing for my life almost, even though they weren't trying to aim at us. It's just crazy. I've never had an experience like that in my life where, someone's trying to kill somebody right in front of me.
Boulder police say they were nearby when they responded, finding suspects actively shooting. One officer fired his weapon and one suspect, an adult male, was shot in the arm. He's expected to survive. No officers were injured, but at least 3 other suspects are on the loose.
I heard gunshots probably like an hour and a half throughout the night last night.
Police believe there were at least 3 kinds of guns involved, too.
I just kept getting texts, and then they said, like, shots fired by the Sink, and I was like, oh my God, like, that's literally like a minute walk from my apartment.
Something students have on their mind.
You really have to be careful. It makes me not want to walk around the hill late at night.
Still not stopping Singhal and his friends from cleaning the place they love.
Definitely a lot of people here who want to do good, and are trying to do good, and they're trying to do everything they can to make this place better.
Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
And Denver city leaders are considering a request to upgrade security at parks and recreation centers. This comes after a 14-year-old boy was shot and killed behind the Southwest Recreation Center back in August. There were no security cameras at the rec centers to help police find the shooter. Police eventually made an arrest yesterday, but neighbors are still concerned about the lack of security equipment.
Maybe cameras, because we don't have cameras here. Outside lights in the dark. So if, lights could come on, just security.
Parks and Rec now wants to spend an additional $1.6 million on security upgrades, including $900,000 on cameras at rec centers and other facilities that currently don't have them.
Search and rescue teams are combing through the wreckage in southwest Florida looking for survivors after Hurricane Ian. This comes as President Biden is set to visit the area on Wednesday to survey the damage. Meanwhile, many residents were forced to wait in long lines for basic necessities like food and water.
Here in Colorado, a local group is getting ready to send a truckload of supplies to help out those Floridians.
Denver 7's Patrick Perez takes a look at what Coloradans are donating now and how you can still send help before the truck leaves.
It's no surprise in times of need, Coloradans step up.
Generosity of the Colorado people is second to none.
Something that Big Tony knows all about.
We've got 250,000 men and women in uniform helping other countries while this is happening here. Doing nothing is not an option.
With the help of several businesses, he's organized this donation drive outside the Arvada Costco at 52nd and Wadsworth. So far, they've collected a truckload of much-needed supplies to send to the survivors of Hurricane Ian in Florida. This second truck will leave late Monday night.
It's Americans helping Americans is what it comes down to.
The supplies include anything from water to noodles and even candy for kids who've lost their home ahead of Halloween.
Just to be able to bring your kids by, grab some candy, try and have something normal when nothing's going to be normal for a very, very long time. That's what we're trying to do.
In addition to the generosity of the people who donated all of these supplies, Tony tells me a woman also gave away these clothes belonging now to her dead husband, hoping that any of these shirts or pants can help someone out in Florida.
Time and time and time and time again, we have leaned on them, and here they are again. I've never seen anything like it.
But with the good, sometimes comes the bad. Tony says someone stole their donation jar for diesel fuel funds, which has delayed their second trip to Florida by a day.
Diesel fuel currently ranges from $4.50 a gallon to $5 a gallon, so every little bit helps.
Whether it's hurricane relief supplies or money to get there, no doubt Tony is sure Coloradans will always step up.
An empty truck going to Florida means nothing, so it's their hard-earned donations and money that made this possible.
In Arvada, Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
If you would still like to help, Tony and his group will be collecting donation supplies again tomorrow morning starting at 8. You can drop them off at the Costco at 52nd and Wadsworth in Arvada, and there's a big yellow Penske truck parked out front.
For some, it's already too late, but for other domestic violence victims, help is closer than expected.
We need a snitch. This is the time to snitch. This is the time to open your mouth.
Up next, Denver Mayor Michael Hancock talks about his family tragedy and the life-saving resources available now for those most at risk.
Insurance doesn't cover any lost or theft vehicles or items, so I was kind of left with nothing.
Plus, thieves steal a Denver man's e-bike and with it, his livelihood. How you can help him get back on his feet next.